Hi, Spike from Wavescape here with your surf report for Tuesday the 5th of September running until Tuesday the 12th of September. So first of all, just wanted to point out the volatility out in the ocean all around South Africa to the west, the south and the east. As you can see, there are areas of high pressure and low pressure all over the show. It's kind of a mixed melting pot of temperature variations and extreme volatility. But let's have a look at this big storm down in the south. So as you can see, a very large area, a very long fetch of winds pointing straight at the west coast and southwestern Cape of South Africa. By Wednesday morning, that thing is very long. In fact, if we had to look at the distance, right, we'd be looking at pretty much draw a line from where the swell's coming off the conveyor belt to where it starts, and we've got about a 1,600 nautical mile fetch of wind, and that's blowing at around gale force or thereabouts. Obviously in the center, in the main core of that storm, it's 40 knots odd, but let's average it out and say that it's, say, 35 knots, okay? And we look at the wave generation calculator and say, okay, let's put in the speed, call it gale force 35 knots, put in the duration, and it blows for at least 24 hours, if not more. And then that 1,600 mile fetch translates to well in excess of 2,000 kilometers. So we calculate, and we've got basically a 9-meter swell at 13 to 14 seconds. And as we can actually see by the resulting swell that arrives in Cape Town on Friday, there you have it. Of course, the swell has decayed in size somewhat, but you're still looking at a decent sized swell. Anyway, back to the charts in the deep Southern Ocean. So come Wednesday afternoon and evening, that storm's now elongated and it's bringing some nice rain to the southwestern Cape. That rain is going to be arriving on Thursday in the early hours. And then it looks like it actually lasts for quite a nice period of time, probably around 24 hours, and spreads into the catchment area. And let's hope that's going to relieve the level 5 restrictions that were recently imposed on Cape Town. So back to the charts, and by Thursday morning and into the afternoon, we're looking at that storm dipping below the country, and all the winds are now facing in the wrong direction. Big storm out in the east there as well. Actually, look at that beast heading for Australia. Then, of course, there is a little twirly that is developing west of Cape Town and the west coast, and that is a rather interesting little phenomenon. So let's look at it. Okay, so go back a little bit. So let's look at it from around about Friday, 11 in the morning. Winds are pointing pretty much in the wrong direction, mostly focused in the north, with a small, slow conversion into a west wind, which occurs from Friday in the early hours to Saturday morning. And by basically Saturday afternoon is when we're now starting to look at some proper swell morphing into the direction we need. So from then, we would then extrapolate an 8 to 12 hour period, which would take it into Sunday. And then we would then say, right, well, how far away is the end of that storm? So we'd go distance and planning calculator in the trusty windy.com, and on the end of the conveyor belt to Cape Town, 574 nautical miles. So if you divide up half the speed of the wind, because the sets travel at half the speed of the wind, don't ask me why, well, you could, but you'd have to attend one of my courses, then you will see that that is about a 30-hour journey to Cape Town. So from Sunday at 4 in the morning, it's already doing its thing, heading straight for us. So pretty much Monday and Tuesday and even Wednesday, that swell is peaking at a similar size, I think, to this coming Friday, but possibly bigger due to the velocity of the wind in the storm. But of course, a much smaller fetch anyway. Anyway, then come Monday, that storm is now falling away, although still plenty of energy facing towards the southwestern Cape on Monday in the early hours, and then it pretty much fades away. So now let's look at the forecast, right? So I'm going to just look at the Cape Peninsula. Tuesday, Wednesday, you're looking at westerlies. Strong front arrives on Wednesday. Some more rain overnight. Strong northwesterly winds. The grunt of the swell starts on Thursday, but really peaks on Friday. Thursday afternoon and Friday, and there's a dropping northwesterly wind on Friday. Saturday, strong southeasters. Solid 6 to 8 foot swell west as well, still that nice direction. And it goes a little bit more south on Sunday, 4 foot or so. Again, stiff northwesterlies. And then Monday, we're now seeing the start of that swell from the second twirly. Looking at the Eastern Cape West area, J-Bay area, Tuesday, the waves. Strong westerlies. And then we're looking at Wednesday, also nice waves, although it goes onshore in the afternoon. And then by Thursday, looking at Kif waves again, Kif west winds, spots going off all over the show. But it's really come Friday. Now, Friday is the one to really look out for. I mean, look at that. That's a 15-foot swell at 15 seconds. So you're looking at 10-foot swell on the open coast in light westerly winds, puffing moderate west. So that could be the day of days on the point breaks especially, but all along the southwestern to southern Cape and well into the eastern Cape, firing conditions on Friday. Saturday looks also cooking, light westerly winds in the morning, slightly smaller swell. Sunday tapering off, looks like a bit miff onshore, a little bit of a northeast comes up early in the early hours of Sunday, so but still offshore later and a bit of residual swell. And then if we just have a quick look at KZN, South Coast, we've kind of neglected you guys slightly, but there's lots of swell coming up and some nice winds, not bad, not big, not like it is in the Cape. Tuesday you see there's a bit of an onshore northeast, then a buster through on Wednesday messes it all up, and then a bit of swell on Thursday, but it's onshore, glassing off. Then Friday, looking at a 3 to 4 foot swell, light westerly winds, not bad. And Saturday looks like the day. So that swell from the Cape starts to arrive on the south coast on Saturday. 4 to 5 foot swell, and if hopefully the southerlies don't blow. If they do, I'm afraid you're slightly skunked unless you can get an early dawny. And then on Sunday, a bit of a volatile situation with fresh to very strong to almost gale force northeast, beastly easterly winds, and not too nice. That's about it for now. Hope you have a few. Be safe out there. Thanks.